When you hear the word cholera, what comes to mind? Probably something out of a history book, right? A disease that's, well, history. But what if I told you this ancient disease isn't just still with us? It's actually staging a terrifying comeback. Let's break down how this is even possible.
Okay, look at this number. Just let it sink in for a second. 2.5 million. That's more than the entire population of a city like Houston, Texas. And no, this is not a statistic from the 1800s. It's from right now.
That is how many people got sick in just one recent outbreak in Yemen. This wasn't some historical footnote. It was the largest and fastest spreading cholera outbreak in modern history. And frankly, it's a huge red flag for a problem that's getting worse.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle why cholera is still such a modern threat. Then, we'll meet the tiny little culprit that causes all the trouble. We'll see how it puts the body under siege. And finally, and this is the important part, we'll talk about why this is a fight we can absolutely win.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Cholera's surprising comeback. Far from being a solved problem, this disease is finding new footholds all over the world. And the trend lately? Well, it's alarming. And if you look at this timeline, you can really see the pattern emerging. You see these massive outbreaks tied to disasters, right? Like Haiti in 2010, then Yemen in 2016. But look at what happens in 2021 and 2022. Outbreaks are on the rise, and the number of reported cases literally doubled in just 1 year. This isn't just one or two hotspots. It's becoming a global crisis. So, to really get why this is happening, we've got to meet the villain of our story. It's an invisible invader, a little bacterium called Vibrio cholera.
So this tiny little thing, this is what causes all the trouble. It's a gram-negative bacterium, but what you really need to know is that it's a waterborne menace. Its entire strategy for survival is built around one simple, brutal cycle, getting from one person's gut to another's through contaminated water or food.
And its life cycle? It's brutally simple, almost elegant in a terrifying way. It starts when waste from an infected person gets into the water. Then someone else drinks that water or maybe eats seafood from it. The bacteria set up shop in their small intestine, multiply like crazy, and then, well, that person's waste starts the whole vicious cycle all over again. It's a loop fueled by poor sanitation. But here's the thing. Not everyone who's exposed gets sick in the same way. Your stomach acid? It's an amazing first line of defense. It kills a lot of these bacteria. That's a big reason why young kids, older adults, and people on acid-reducing meds are more vulnerable. And get this, for reasons we're still figuring out, people with type O blood are also more susceptible. Fascinating, right? Okay, so the bacteria is in. Now what? How does it actually do its damage? This is where things go from what seems like a simple stomach bug to a full-blown, life-threatening emergency. This is the really critical part. The bacteria itself doesn't invade your body's tissues. Nope. It just hangs out in your small intestine and starts pumping out this incredibly powerful toxin. And this toxin basically hijacks the controls of your intestinal cells, forcing them to just dump massive amounts of salt and water. And the effect of that toxin? Oh, it is devastatingly fast. The body just starts losing fluids at an unbelievable rate. We're talking sudden, severe diarrhea and vomiting. It's this catastrophic fluid loss that leads to the crazy thirst, the muscle cramps, and just this profound weakness. It's like someone turned on a fire hose inside your body. There's actually a pretty memorable medical term for this. It's called rice water stool because of its pale, milky look. To put it in perspective, in a severe case, a person can lose more than a quart of fluid every single hour. And that's why it's so deadly. Just look at these numbers. If you don't get treatment, your chances of survival are less than 50%. It's basically a coin toss. But with treatment, the survival rate jumps to over 99%. The difference is just staggering. But this is maybe the most important part of this whole story. Because for all its terrifying power, cholera is not some complex medical puzzle. This is a completely, totally winnable fight. And the solution is remarkably simple. So what's the magic bullet? It's almost shockingly simple. You just have to replace the fluids and salts the body is losing. Most of the time, a simple drink, basically a specific mix of salt, sugar, and water, is all it takes. Antibiotics can help shorten the illness, sure, but it is the rehydration that literally pulls people back from the brink of death. And, stopping it before it even starts, well, that comes down to things that many of us just take for granted every single day. Clean water, proper sanitation. And on the personal level, it's just about being careful, boiling your water, cooking your food thoroughly, especially when you're in an area where cholera is a risk. Now, you might be thinking, what about vaccines? And yeah, we do have them, and they offer pretty good protection for a few years. But, and this is a big but, they aren't a silver bullet. They're a useful tool in the toolbox for sure, but they are absolutely no substitute for the real long-term solution: safe water and sanitation for everyone. So it all comes down to this. We know exactly what causes cholera. We know exactly how to stop it from spreading. And we have a simple, dirt-cheap, incredibly effective treatment that can save nearly every single person who gets it. The real takeaway here is that cholera isn't just a medical problem. It's a problem of poverty, of failing infrastructure, of conflict and crisis. Which leaves us with one final tough question. If the science is solved, why is this fight still so incredibly hard?